Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If this is your first video, hi, I'm Alaina, and this is The Organized Money, where we talk about planning, productivity, and money. If that interests you, then make sure that you click that subscribe button, as I would love for you to be a part of our little family. Today's video is a very overdue late video, but it is my May 2019 budgeting video. This is the monthly budget. I was out of town the first week of May, and so I was kind of working off of my electronic budget just until I could get everything down on paper. So that's what we are doing today. I do have some icon stickers over here. These are Christiane design stickers. I am going to be using those. And I also have some bills here, different things that are out of the ordinary that I'm probably going to add to my sidebar to make sure that I remember to cover and pay. So let's go ahead and get started and put all of my expenses down on my May monthly calendar. So the first thing that I'm doing is I'm adding all of my fixed expenses to my calendar. These are my main things that I know that are coming out every single month and that they will not change. So I have my mortgage, my health insurance, my dental insurance, my car insurance, my water bill, my car note, all of those things that I'm adding on to my calendar. All of my fixed expenses mainly add up to about $7,600 per month, and so I like to just keep track of all of them here. Okay, so I've added all of my fixed expenses in, and I decided to put them all in black. I'm gonna go in now and add in variable expenses, basically the ones that I know are going to come out at a certain time or that I need to do at a certain time. For instance, every Saturday my girls go to the hairdresser and get their hair done, so I'm gonna mark that expense on each Saturday so that I keep track of that. And like every 2 weeks I'll go to the nail salon and get my nails done, so I'll mark that down also. So this is just a great way for me to keep track of variable expenses, and I also like to put it in a different color. Usually sometimes I will use stickers to do this, but I just decided to keep it way more functional this month and use a colored pen instead. So on my calendar, I keep track of hair expenses and also my groceries expenses, but I don't keep track of my personal cash or our sinking funds. I just track that on a weekly basis, so I do it on that spread. Okay, so now I'm going to go in and add some non-ordinary expenses on the sidebar here. So in the black, I've added all my fixed expenses. That's things that's definitely not going to change. In the blue, I've added my variable expenses. More than likely, they will not change either, but they can be adjusted if needed. And on the sidebar here, I'm going to add all of the things that is happening this month that is not ordinary. For instance, I have a dental procedure coming up on the 15th, and that is something that I'm going to have to like pay off. Basically, I have like a care credit card that's covering it, but it's about $3,000, and I'm going to end up having to pay it off. So I want to mark down that in my notes here. And I went out of town the very first week of May, and I'm going out of town again the last weekend of May for Memorial Day weekend. So I want to mark that down so that I make sure I'm staying on top of those expenses. So what I usually do when I'm going out of town is I will pay down my credit card, and then I will charge my expenses while I am out of town on that credit card, and then when I return, I'll just pay it off again. So being that I am going out of town twice in 1 month, it is a lot of activity on that card. So I do want to stay on top of it to make sure that I am not spending too much, and I'm keeping track of, you know, the balance and how much I have spent on each trip. Okay, so for the non-ordinary things that have happened this month, I have a dental procedure coming up. I just wanted to mark that down so that I'm keeping track of that. I am definitely going to pay that off, hopefully starting in June, and start basically a tracker to keep track of how I'm paying that off. I have my Atlanta trip, which I just came off of, and that one we spent about $1,000. I have birthday expenses from my youngest daughter's birthday party, in which her gifts and her party and everything decor together was about $500. House expenses, we had some things that we had to take care of in the house, and that was $500. And then I have another trip coming up at the end of May, and that one will be around $750. So with that being said, I have a lot of expenses, a lot of things kind of happening in May. So I know I won't be able to do a big debt payoff or anything like that during this month. And sometimes that happens, and I'm okay with that. So now I'm just gonna go in and add some icon stickers just to make this a little bit prettier and make it nice to look at. Okay, so I have added all of the icon stickers that I want so far. I decided to pick the color pink because it's my baby girl's favorite color, and this month is her birthday, so why not? So now I'm going to add this back into my main planner, and then I'm going to fill out the extra sheet that comes in the front of the budget planner. If you aren't familiar with this planner, this is the Happy Planner, and it is the budget edition of the Happy Planner. And at the beginning of each month, you do get a monthly overview where you can start with adding your bills, your variable expenses, and your savings balance here. I just like to always have it on my actual calendar because I usually flip to this the most, and I use this to kind of keep track of what has been paid and what has not been paid. Like, you know, it's already like the 13th, so I already know that these items have already been covered, car insurance and mortgage and things like that. So I use a red pen to kind of mark them off after they have been covered. And then any additional things that may come up, I'll either write them in here or write them in on the additional weeks, depending on how much space that I have. But if it's something that big that occurs, it will usually also go on here. So now let's go ahead and fill out this sheet here. And then I think that'll be about it for the monthly setup. Like I said before, I'm not really gonna focus on debt or savings that much this particular month because I have a lot of additional expenses on the sidebar here. We have 2 trips, we have birthday, we have house expenses, and I have a dental procedure. So I don't wanna overwhelm myself thinking that I need to pay off a bunch of debt in this month or save a bunch of money because I already know I have a lot going on and it doesn't make any sense to stress myself out. I'll just start back up in June, and that's the plan. So now I'm just going to write this section out, and that'll be about it. Okay, so here is the final look at my monthly budget. I have added all of my fixed expenses here, which my fixed expenses are all of the ones that I added on my calendar. This is just a quick overview of all of them if I needed to look here. And then I have my variable expenses here, which includes my groceries of $100 a week, gas at $3.20, which is $80 a week, 40 per car, hair of $120, that's $30 for my girls every single week. Then we have personal cash of $400, that's $100 a week, $50 for myself, $50 for my husband for personal cash spending, everyday money. And then I have our sinking funds, $390, which goes to our capital account. If you have not heard me talk about the app Capital, it's where we keep our sinking funds money. I will link a video that I did on my favorite financial apps because I talk about this app in depth in that video. So I will link it above in case you're interested. And I also did a video on why I only use 2 cash envelopes now. So if you want to see my explanation of that, then I will link that video above too. And I am not the first person to kind of talk about decreasing the amount of cash envelopes that you have, but I realized that this system really worked for me, so I decided to do a video on it also. So other than that, I have my savings balances here. My starting balance is $3,500, which is about $500 of it is in sinking funds. We have $900 of it in an Acorns investment account, and then the rest is in a money market account. So that is the starting balance there. I am going to increase that hopefully by $500. That is the goal for this particular month. I do not have a debt reduction goal for this month, mainly because I want to make sure that I am not overwhelming myself, because I know we have a lot of different things going on this month. So I'm going to push that debt reduction goal to starting in June. So that is it for my monthly setup. I am really liking this, and I like the way the functional stickers are kind of working out for me, the way that I have a little bit of decoration, but I still have a lot of space to write because I always need a bunch of space. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. I hope it has helped you in your monthly planning journey. And I will see you guys in the next video. Until next time, do not forget to please follow me on Instagram. We have a whole bunch of conversation going on over there. And I will see you in the next video. Until next time, guys. Bye.